What's up, everyone? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and if it's your first time seeing one of my videos, I'd like to welcome you to my channel where we just chill and talk about all the things that we love or hate. And if you have anything you want me to review, leave a comment below letting me know what it is, and I'll make it happen for you. But for today's video, we're checking out the new EP, God Smiles Upon the Callous Daoboys by the Callous Daoboys. This is the third EP to accompany the band's 2 studio albums. Their sophomore album, Celebrity Therapist, was a lot of people's album of the year for 2022, which was completely understandable as the mathcore band really pushed their limits of songwriting, making basically every section of that LP a very wonderful surprise. And as soon as we heard that they're releasing new music, fans and myself started drooling at the mouth for another album, but we had to settle for EP. And at this point, I feel like an EP is the better option anyways, just because it keeps people wanting more. And their last album was so much to really digest. I mean, it's been almost a year, and going back and listening to it, there's still stuff to take from it just because it's such a complex piece of music. And I feel like an EP, it's just a short little dose of a little bit more of that, because I feel like if we have a lot more, it definitely becomes overwhelming, especially with this style of music. It's only 3 songs, but I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to make it work with just such a little amount of time compared to their last album, which was actually, it was pretty long considering what it consisted of. The EP opens up with the song Pushing the Pink Envelope, which I feel like is about missing someone that has moved on from the narrator's life, out of the relationship or friendship, and now they're living their life, and the narrator's kind of, it almost has like a state of FOMO, where seeing this other person be happy without them, being married, moving on, and just almost feeling like they didn't matter that much. This other person is doing just fine without them. It's really sad. But it's something that we could all very easily relate to. It's got a lot of good metaphors in it, and deciphering it isn't really that hard, as it's also kind of straightforward at the same time. It's got some crazy keyboard stuff going on and a very aggressive intro. The riff and the verse is absolutely sick, and is followed by kind of like this elevator music section, and I guess it's almost like a pre-chorus, while the chorus has like a emo Fall Out Boy kind of vibe to it. I don't know, like the more I listen to it, like Fall Out Boy, or even Panic at the Disco in a sense. I know, don't hate me for saying that, but I mean, it definitely sounds like it's inspired by it, while also sounding really original, and it's very catchy, which is kind of crazy because mathcore being catchy is kind of a hard thing to really grasp. While verse 2 is, I mean, it goes back to that Every Time I Die kind of sound. It's really chaotic, it's really heavy and brutal, and the vocals and the rhythm kind of play off of each other a little bit. And then we have the song Wacko Jesus. This was the first single that was released for this EP. It has a really fat bass line driving the verse, while the verse and chorus are kind of the opposite from Pushing the Pink Envelope, in the sense that the verse has that, you know, like Fall Out Boy kind of vibe to it, and then the chorus is where it's a lot more crazy and a lot more aggressive, and the vocal layering in the chorus is pretty cool too. It's really heavy and makes it feel like there's almost like a conversation going on between maybe like voices in your head or something along those lines. I know the lyrics don't really fit it, but just listening to it, it definitely feels like there's a dialogue of some sorts. And that brings us to the last song on the EP, Designer, Shroud of Turin. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a place in Italy. This is the last song that was released for this EP. So, I mean, it was the only one that we were missing at the time to complete it. The intro is really heavy, while the verse has some like really cool wheelie-doo kind of guitar stuff. It doesn't get too crazy in terms of like, I don't know, like Gavin Dance kind of swancore stuff, but eventually evolves and the riff becomes super groovy. The chorus has some really interesting sounds in it, mostly from the synth, and it's very, very bassy at the same time. The post-chorus and verse 2 are absolutely nasty, accented by some more synth stuff, making it feel heavy yet playful at the same time. And the song just becomes more and more confusing as it goes on, just because the synth basically takes over in different sections. A lot of different layerings, a lot of different transitions throughout the song, basically making it feel like, I don't know, you basically have no idea what's going to happen next. On multiple listens to this thing, it was really hard for me to pick up on where the song was going to go next, and trying to remember what part came next. And Yeah, this one was a hard one to dissect because of that, and also because of that, I don't know, I had a hard time really getting into it because there's nothing you could really grasp. There's no like constant groove throughout this thing, and even the synth stuff is just a little unsettling. Now, I enjoy this EP a lot, and I know that I've been saying that I wanted a full LP, but I feel like this is absolutely perfect due to all the chaos that it was, which I did enjoy, but at times, specifically in the last song, Designer Shroud of Truant, it was just a little bit too much. The synth created a little bit too much weirdness in that song, and I thought Wacko Jesus was a little too weird for me when it first came out, but Designer Shroud was definitely like the next step up, mostly due to the synth, and I don't know, it's just a different type of experimentation that no matter how many times I listened to it, I couldn't really get into it. I couldn't really connect with it. The first two tracks, though, are absolutely sick. The right amount of heaviness mixed with some emo post stuff going on was very enjoyable. The guitar riffs were absolutely fantastic, even though they do kind of sound the same. Because this thing's so short, it kind of flows as one whole song because of that. And I don't give the vocals enough credit, but the vocals were one of the more enjoyable parts of this, be it the distorted or the clean vocals. I mean, even though I had a hard time getting into the final track, I still recognize just how fantastic this thing was. So with all that said, I got to give God Smiles Upon the Callous Daoboys by the Callous Daoboys a 4 out of 5. But I want to know what you guys think. This thing was heavily anticipated. So many people were excited about it. So leave a comment below letting me know what you thought, if it was everything you ever wanted, or if you're disappointed, if it was too much for you, whatever. Let me know what your favorite song was and what you would rate it. I usually base EPs on a 5 scale. Just, I don't know, 10 seems a bit much for 3 songs, you know. But yeah, anyways, leave a comment also letting me know what you want me to review next. If you enjoy this video, you want to continue to see more of it, don't forget to give this video a like. It helps out a lot with YouTube's algorithm. It shows YouTube that you're interested in my content enough to interact with it in some way. And if you want to help support me and my channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Doing all that stuff helps me out tremendously. And I appreciate you guys more than you could ever imagine. Thank you so much for listening to me sit here and talk about music. And I hope you have a good rest of your day or night whenever you have to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.